I hope that I'm on. George was having trouble getting me on, said it was cycling. So if you hear me and if I'm on, yay and welcome. So this is the reference photo. Let me see. I have a delay. So let me see if you can see it or not. And I copied this from Pixabay. I better go up a little higher. So that's cute, right? Kind of toe-to-toe boots. I figured this is a really cute beginner of winter scene. So if you guys could see that. I just put a little phthalo blue on there. Okay, I'm gonna wet my canvas. I'm just wetting it with water. So I wet my canvas and I'm just gonna put a first layer of paint on there, undercolor, background color, whatever you want to call it, and then I will layer it from there. So yeah, this is really pretty. This skin tone, mid, and I believe it's Matisse. Yes, it is. Anyway, it's very, very neutral, but it's bright at the same time. It's a little brighter than yellow ochre. It's a little orangier than yellow ochre. So a little more water, make it spread. And finish this off. And this will actually help with the background because there's kind of very kind of abstract hint of trees in the background and light. So this will help with that at the top. And of course the bottom will be more snow. So I don't need that to be quite as light as this part. And I can go back and forth a little bit because I did wet my canvas, so I can go back more than if I didn't without lifting all my paint. I'm going to go into this white since it's going to be white down here anyway. I'm not rinsing off my brush. I'm just going into it because the bottom part is snow, so there's no point in me covering it too much with the yellow ochre. Okay. So, back to my white again. I'll put some more on the canvas. I didn't waste any paint because the paints, the darker colors that I have that I threw on my palette, I could use for the boots. So, okay. I'm going to bring this snow up a little bit. So I'm just bringing this up. I'm going to bring it up more than halfway. This snow. I'm going to bring that up to like here, believe it or not. So this is going to be my snow. And then recreate my snow after it dries. Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn my sound down and use my blow dryer since it's the background. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little white here because I'm going to add some little lines for trees. So just up here, I'm going to put some light. All right. And then their legs are going to meet together up here at the top. So I don't have to be real fussy with that. And just kind of bring it down. And again, what I'd like to do is make this more snowy. So we need lots and lots and lots of white on this picture. Put some here in the center. And again, they're their boots and everything is going to cover some of that. So I might get to conserve some of my paint here. Okay. And then I need a little bit, just with the scruffiness of my brush. I didn't really dip the brush again to do this part here. I just wanted some scruffiness. I'll probably go up and down a little bit because I'm going to put some trees in here. And I want that orangey color to really show up back there. I do want that to show up. So I'm just doing some scruffiness in here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to throw some trees on here. So in the background, so I'm just going to make some downward, not so perfect lines here. Not so perfect, little squiggly lines. Okay. And so maybe, you know, some just hints, and just some little hints here. Okay, so you just kind of play with your brush. I love to be able to play. Put some lines in here for some of the ground look. You know, I like the impression type stuff because it's just, you know, it's just you can't blow it. So I'm just kind of making a little scruffy here, and not everything straight. You don't want everything straight. You want some stuff to cross over each other like that. Okay, and then bring some a little bit straighter here, and then maybe something like here on the edge going forward. Bring your eye in toward the picture, and then some little hints on your white, but don't press hard and don't redip your brush for this stuff. And then maybe some at the top so that you can see where the sun came in and interrupted some of this stuff. Okay. All right, so I guess you could see that. Now I'm going to go back into some of my background color, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with some of this, with that sienna color, and then making just some of these lines in here just so that it looks a little more foresty and not look so printed, and just putting some lines in here like that with that. Okay, and just give it a little bit of a tree in the background look to it. I'm going to dip in a little bit of orange, and then very, 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 very lightly put some orange in my picture here. I'm going to change brushes because I just darkened it to the same color as everything else. So I just want a little bit of orange to show up on here. So just to give it a little, see how that gave it a little brightness? A little brightness in here. Normally I don't blow dry. I try to cater to people with fibromyalgia or any other kind of chronic pain. So typically I don't try to keep going without a break. If you see me blow drying, take a break, take a potty break, a coffee break, glass of wine, whatever you do, and come back, stand up, stretch, move around, all that stuff. Watch your posture. In the meantime, because I don't want to go past my hour, I'm just going to go ahead and blow dry this. So this is a great time for you to take a break. So I'm going to turn it down. Tell George to tell me if I forget to turn it back up, okay? All right. Okay. And on the very top, I'm going to put a glaze on there.
Put the sound back?
Yeah. I'm going to put a glaze on the very top so that I'm going to mix it with some white. And then that way we will have more of a, it'll fall back into the background, okay? So I'm going to throw some more white on here. And I'm going to add some glaze, which is this right here. Okay, so that's my glaze. And I'm going to add that, which my tops are always clogged. I expect that anymore. So I'm putting a little glaze on my palette next to my white. And I think I'm going to add just a touch of orange to that. Now, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to dry it again, so I got to turn it. Now what I'd like to do is draw their legs in. I have some blue chalk. Ta-da! And I'm going to draw his legs in. So this is kind of scary. That's why I really want my canvas nice and dry, because when you work with chalk, there's a lot of mistakes, and you want to be able to take a damp paper towel and just rub it out. So if your paint is wet in the background, it's just not going to work. Okay. So I'm looking on here, and it looks like my camera view on here is pretty darn close to what it looks like to me. And I'm going to see if I could ruin that. I'm kidding. Let me see if I could just get the palette only. Oh, not the palette only, the canvas only. Let me see. Am I missing part of that? Yeah, I am. Let me see if I could. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Go over here for you. Okay? Now I'm going to draw that in. So let me know if they have any questions, babe. All right, so I want to start here, and I want their feet to end about here. Okay, so I want the feet to end about here. I want hers to end about here. So I'm going to eyeball it. I might even give myself a guide. I don't want it real straight though. So it starts where he's kind of, the top of his leg is going forward just a little bit. And so I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to come down. And I don't want it too perfect. I want a little wrinkle into it. And then I'm going to come here like this. Okay, and I want a little bit of a sag in there. Now see, that's what I mean. I don't want to cover up my, my light too much. So I think I'm going to move this over. I'm going to move this over, because that's covering up my sunlight a little too much. Okay, and we'll fix that up later. That's not a biggie, okay? So, again, I'm gonna come out this way. I'm gonna do his front leg, I think, first. I'm gonna do his front leg, okay? And then come down, okay? And then cut that off, and then I'll do his back leg, or his right leg. I call this the left leg, and I'll do the right leg, and I'll overlap quite a bit, and I'll come like that, and I'll come down, and I'll kind of go like that. That'll be that leg, and then I'll come down with this part right here. All right, cover up some of my tree, okay, and then have this here. Now if you have your canvas going that way, it might work out better as far as seeing your trees in the background. And then I want his shoe to, you can see his boots more in the picture than hers because she's going to be on her toes. So I'm going to come down like this and then do like that. Okay? So that's his legs. And then hers, again, you don't want to cover up your sunlight, and you want her to be more like this. And where his legs are, you want her to have boots on. So her boots are going to come down like this. And I got wet paint. And she's going to be more like this. And then you'll see her heel. Like her foot's more in the snow. Okay. And you'll see this is her left leg. And then she's got the boot thing going on. Okay. So that's her leg. And then her other one you'll barely be able to see. And it will look just like that because her feet are together. Okay? Now, with her pants, she has like the little leggings on. And then you'll see it like this. And then again like that for the back leg. Okay. Now, so that's part of it. He's a little too skinny. I keep getting shy. I'm not worried about the chalk because that's going to be filled in. But there he is right there. Okay? So, that's that. Let's brush some of this off because it's just a little too strong. Okay, guys? Now, you'll see me fill this in. So, I'm going to fill this in with like some brown and some blue. And so far, I like what I see. I had some more brushes that I took out. Here they are. So I'm going to use my favorite angle brush, which is getting a little scruffy nowadays, but that's all right. And I'm going to put in, can they hear me?
I think so.
Are they talking?
A little bit.
So I'm going to put in his pants. I'm going to put in his leg. Right now, I'm going to add a little blue to it so it's darker. Because otherwise it's going to look like a tree. So I'm adding a little blue to it. Okay. Alright. Add a little more blue to it. Maybe a little white. And I'm going to go this direction. Okay. And that's him. So we'll just fill this in right here. Covered up my trees, but don't worry about it. But if you do the canvas more horizontal, you'll see more trees in the background. So just a little hint if that's what you want to do. But for purposes of everything showing up on my canvas, I like to use, for you guys, I like to use the vertical because it just shows up better. So these are his pants. Kind of look like jeans a little with the phthalo blue mixed in with some white and brown. Okay. And add a little bit more blue. Okay, so that's his. I gotta make sure I go to all the way to the edge. That's the one leg. I gotta quit going over it. And then the other one I want darker. I think I'm gonna add a little black to it. Because the other leg I really want it to be a little darker. Maybe I'll add a little purple to it. That'll make it darker too. So I'm adding a little dioxazine purple. It's so quiet. You're gonna have to fill me in because it's so quiet and I can't read and I can't hear. So you're gonna have to fill me
Everyone's
in.
kind of quiet.
Everybody's quiet now. You guys are making me nervous.
Concentrating on painting, I think.
You're making me nervous, guys. Okay. So you're not doing, oh my gosh, what is she doing?
Leanne says she's getting Nancy Sinatra in her head.
See, that's what I need, babe. I need that. Okay, so this is his leg. Get the purple on this side because it just needs to be darker.
Bonnie says old boots are made for walk.
Okay, so this is him. And I gotta make sure that I close. I can't have a gap because he can't have like a real skinny leg and a real, we don't want that look. That won't be a nice look. All right. Now to show the difference, I'm going to have to highlight his leg closest to me on the right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I think I want to do a little bit more with that knee. Okay. We're going to have to highlight that leg more on the right. You know, guys, when I do these, it's kind of like quickie. It's not the nicest job in the world. But anyway, I want you to get the idea before I run out of time. This is not going to be, this should not be a two-part painting. Okay, so I'm just going to go under here and highlight this with a little bit of white mixed in, all right? On this leg, I'm just going to highlight this a little bit, all right? Then I'll put the darker blue back in there. Close. So that you guys could see the difference. All right. All right, so that's good. So I did that. All right. Not perfect. All right, now I want to do hers. In hers, I want the dark. Because hers is more like leggings. And I really want to make it look like leggings. So, So what I want to do is I want to come down here and I really want to do the legging thing. All right, you know, the little bumps.
Leanne says, let you know that you're close to an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this anyway, regardless. So all I'm doing is her leg now, and I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna do her leg. All right. Now, if you guys can't hang around, I leave these up. Don't forget. But I do like to talk and chat with you at the end. So if you can hang around, that would be nice, but you don't have to. You could just quietly disappear. Okay, so that's her leg, and then I have to do the white highlight on the back part of her leg so you can see the difference. So I'm going to do a little white highlight there, mixed in, and I'm not going to just do straight white, just mixed in so you guys can see the one leg from the other. Okay. And then I'm going to wipe this off and then get that dark purple again for the other leg, which is barely going to show. The other leg, maybe I'll put a little brown.
Leanne says, what was that color mix again?
For which part? For the tights?
I don't know.
It's just dark purple, and then I just add a little bit of white in there. For the where's my dark purple? I'm adding a little ivory black for hers, for her other leg. The dark purple added for her tights without adding anything except for when I get to the edge next to the other leg, and when I get to the edge next to the other leg, I want to make some bumps with this one.
Leanne says thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. And then, you know, it's funny when you get, and you'll probably see this with a lot of people that do these tutorial things, you get paint, if you're painting and talking at exactly the same time, something happens with your brain. So forgive me when that happens. Now, her, I want that light color. I still have my orange here. I'm going to mute it down a little bit with what I have on my palette, because I don't want it to be bright orange. So I used my dirty brush a little bit after I wiped it off, but I didn't really wash it off.
His trousers?
Her boots. I'm on her boots. His trousers are more of they look more blue jean. So I have the phthalo blue and brown mixed together for the most part for his, okay? And then I do the same thing. I highlight the edge so that you could see, okay? And hers, I use straight dark purple. I use straight dark purple with this leg. And then when you see the shoes, when I get done with the boots and the shoes, you will see a little bit more. You'll see what it is and you'll see it come together, okay? So I used orange and I muted it down a little bit for her. For her boots, so that it's not orange. Similar to what I use in the background. Where's my orange? But I mute it a little bit because I had a touch of purple on my brush, a touch of purplish white on my brush, and I just wiped it off instead of rinsing it off because I knew that would tone it down a little bit. I knew that would tone down the orange. Okay. So this is, all right. So then I need a little bit of a heel. This.
So a touch of purple with orange.
Just a touch, like purple and white, whatever was on my brush, and I think it was purple and white was on my brush, and instead of rinsing it, I wiped it off so that it would mute my orange down. And I have actually, I use cadmium orange, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about when I say orange. I am really talking about cadmium orange. Okay, so this, I am just doing the top part of her boot because it's going to be covered with snow underneath, and I'm doing that. And then I'm going to darken this with another touch of orange, just what was on my palette, nothing special, because I want that other boot to be just a titch darker. I'm going to put a little brown in there. I just want this, I put a little brown in here. I wanted this other boot, not enough brown, obviously, to be a titch darker than that boot. But it's supposed to be the same thing. Okay? Alright. So you guys get me? But you don't want a gap in between. Okay. You got that? So you see that? I'm going to clean that up. That's chalk. His shoe is going to be, I'm just adding some, throwing my brush, it's kind of mucky, into my brown with a little purple in it. And that's going to be his boot. His boot like this. Ooh, my brush looks kind of a mess. And I'm going to bring his boot, but I'm not going to go as far as I was going to with the chalk with that one boot. Okay, so that's coming down. All right. I'll outline that. I'll outline that in the light color, like a light orangey color. And the other one, again, I want to tone it down a little darker. So what's closest to me is just a tad lighter. So you just use your darker color. You just throw in a darker color. It could even be a touch of black, but you could throw in a darker color so you can see the difference in the shoes. Okay? All right. All right. Now, and then this, I'm going to throw some orange on my brush and just outline so that you can see his sole.
Question mark.
Brown, pretty much brown. But like I said, add something to make that other shoe a little darker than the one that's the closest to you. And in her, opposite. You have to add a dark sole and a dark heel. So I just dipped my brush into what was on my palette. Nothing special. I had some browns on my palette. So I'm just dipping that. And I'm just going like this with hers. She's going to have snow on hers. And then same thing with this one. This is going to be just a tad darker. So I had some purple on there. So I'm just darkening up the other heel just a little bit. Purple or blue or whatever, just to make it a little darker. And I'm going to wipe this off. Wipe my brush off. Get a little bit into that brown, that orangey brown that was in my palette, and I'm just cleaning this up a little bit. That's all. I'm just cleaning up her heel. So you guys could do that when you do yours. You know, you guys could do the cleanup. I'm gonna be cleaning this up after, you know me, and I'm pretty much done. I'm just gonna wipe my chalk off. I'm gonna fix this up though. But you guys get the idea. I'm just doing a little cover-up job here on where the snow's supposed to be instead of blue chalk. Okay? Just fixing this up a little bit. All right. And then she's got on that purple, on that where's my purple? On that purple part, where's the purple? I lost my purple. Here it is. I just want to make her thigh come out just a little bit more at the top. I mean, that's looking a little bit too weird. So I'm just going to come out just a little bit more here. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. All right, that looks pretty good. Bit more dark purple here. All right, so that's pretty good. I'm going to make sure I cover the top part so it doesn't look weird. And I think that's just about it. What I'm going to do when I'm done, guys, is I'm going to add more snow here, so you'll see her feet are in the snow. You already see some shadow from the background coming. I might add some little bit of my blue into my white to make that shadow show up a little bit more on here. But other than that, I think it's pretty much done. And I'm going to switch over from it, but you guys kind of get to see what's going on. And like I said, if you have your painting more horizontal, you get more of the tree effect and all that stuff. So it will probably look a little bit better. As a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do real quick before coming on is add a little bit. I just found some brown and I found my little glaze there, and I'm just going to add some more trees in the background here. You know, add some more trees in the background so that it looks like it's part of the other painting. Okay, so just a little bit more of that. So it kind of matches with this stuff. Okay. See that finished look, because I need to put some wrinkles in her boots and stuff like that, you know, upload it so you could see the finishing effects and how it looks. But I had fun with this. I had a lot of fun with that background. I might do this again in a horizontal. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope everybody's feeling okay. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Love you guys. Bye. Don't forget, next time, jump on. You don't have to paint with me. You can paint later. I will save them. If you do paint this, put it up. I want to see them. I love to see the stuff we do together, or at least the stuff we see together. Okay, bye-bye. Love you guys.